Hello and welcome to another 5 minutes of Sunday school. The last two lessons have stemmed from our first lesson. The whole world becomes chaotic. Love becoming cold and peace being elusive are characteristics of our chaotic world. In lesson 4, the topic is mad rush for worldly wealth. Our memory scriptures is from Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 20. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that makes haste to be rich shall not go unpunished. In the Garden of Eden, man had all he needed and did not have to worry. Today, there's all the fuss about making wealth. In fact, it would seem that man's purpose on earth was to come and make wealth. The whole purpose for going to school, getting a job, seems to be aimed at meeting the society's expectations of building up riches. Because of these expectations, people go to the extremes to make wealth for themselves. We have two divisions in this lesson. One, why the mad rush for wealth? And two, ways to God's blessings. We'll look at division 1 today under the sections A, reasons for impatience, and B, results of impatience. So A, the reasons for impatience. Why do people rush for wealth? Some do it for survival, some for comfort, and others for affluence. The world has gotten to such a state that basic necessities of life seem to have become scarce. In many places in the world, many people are still struggling to get a shelter over their heads, clothes over their bodies, and food for their bellies. This has led some into robbery, fraud, and even diabolic means to get what they need. After climbing the ladder of survival, human wants for more comfort takes over. The one-room apartment is no longer befitting, the 3 pairs of shoes are no longer enough, the buka becomes too degrading, and the high-class restaurants are places to visit. Like the economists will say, human wants are insatiable. The want for more has the potential to override our sense of judgment and become our major drive in life. When your major drive in life is making ends meet or seeking after wealth instead of God, then you are becoming part of that mad rush. Why the mad rush for impatience for today's wealth? One is a lack of trust in God as a source and sustainer. We trust in our own strength or other alternatives when we think that God cannot supply our needs. Two, there are those that believe that God is the source and sustainer, but they feel that his schedule is too late for them. They cannot just wait for his will. If they will have what they desire, it has to be now. Three, some will say that as children of God, you should not experience hardship of any form. They can't just bear it. They will do whatever it takes to escape such hardship, even going against God's purpose. Four, there are those who want to enjoy the world's goods, but they are not ready to put in the required efforts. They want the rewards of those who have worked hard and earned the rewards. They are lazy. They cut corners, they cheat others, they harm the innocent to achieve their goals. They don't care whose ox is God. Consider your attitude to worldly wealth. Are you part of the impatience? All this impatience has its consequences. So quickly, let's look at B, the results of impatience. What are the results of this mad rush? One, restlessness. The rush after wealth never ends. It's a race that keeps calling for more. Wealth cannot bring the peace that our soul desires. Instead, the want for more keeps coming after you. The mind is not at rest. Fear and anxiety keep ruling. Two, ailments. The want for wealth generates a lot of worries. Worries are a weight on the human heart. Many run into developing hypertension because of the race to make ends meet. No wonder the Bible says, don't be anxious about anything. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. 3. Painful losses. Ill-gotten wealth are often like smoke that appears for a season and then disappears into the air. Imagine how painful it can be when all a person has been running around to build suddenly falls apart. It can be very painful. In the course of rushing to make wealth, many have lost the relationships that matter most. They have had troubles with their spouses, lost quality time with their children, and may have even become strangers in their own homes. The effects are not usually immediately seen, they become obvious when it's late to repair. 4. The fall for Satan's devices. The devil's ultimate aim is to get you to be separated from God. And when we get busy with trying to build ourselves a fortune, it's quite easy then to derail from God without realizing it. The Bible says we should not be ignorant of the devil's devices. Our lesson summary: we reap what we sow. It is better to trust God and wait for his time than to destroy ourselves running after riches. Our time is short. Perhaps you have a question or you have additions. Kindly use the comment section below. I'll be glad to read your comments. So don't forget also to visit next week for Division 2 of this lesson. God bless you.